Well, ultimately, it comes down to why did he have all that secret stuff at Mar-a-Lago? You know, I know his team has said that they declassified it, but that's news to the agencies that those documents belong to. And Governor, he had apparently 3 classified documents in his desk. And then the stuff, as Brian detailed on the floor, it shows 5 yellow folders marked top secret and another one that says secret SCI, which means sensitive compartmentalized information. Those are the biggest secrets in the world. Why would he, and apparently the former president went through them in January, why wouldn't he say, oh, you know what? I really need to turn that back over. Why did he have all that stuff at Mar-a-Lago?
Well, that's why I think it's important that this is transparent and that we do have someone who's outside of the DOJ looking at this and talking to people. What is this information? We don't know what was in there. We don't know. I believe President Trump declassified all this information. Let's find out really what the process is, what is right, what's precedent that other presidents have followed, and make sure that this is done correctly.
Governor, I don't think any president has ever carted off that many documents to their house after they left the presidency.
When even these Fox hosts recognize the abject absurdity of what Donald Trump did by quite literally stealing the nation's most closely guarded secrets because he decided they were his own personal mementos, things probably aren't looking too good for the former president. Here, Steve Doocy acknowledges just how ridiculous it is that Trump thought he could take these documents, to which Kristi Noem repeats the lie that it was all on the level because Trump has total declassification authority. Just so we're clear, as president, Trump was still bound by laws regulating how documents should be declassified. And just a hint, it's not by waving his hand above everything like a magic wand and willing it into existence by fiat. In reality, there were still processes that Trump would have had to follow. For example, there are regulations under the most recent executive order issued by Obama in 2009 regarding statutory command that requires consultation with the agency that originally classified information before anyone may try to declassify it. Trump would also have been restricted from declassifying documents containing information relating to nuclear weapons and intelligence agents. And lo and behold, there just so happen to be materials identified as human source information picked up by the DOJ. So when Kristi Noem and these other Trump mouthpieces pretend that Trump was a one-man declassification machine, they are conveniently leaving out the fact that he would have still had to follow the rules governing exactly how those documents would be declassified. And most importantly, the 2009 executive order also made one more point, that no official leaving government service may remove classified information from the government's control or direct that information to be declassified in order to remove it from agency control. Meaning that because these documents were still classified and Trump took them, he broke the law. And even if he did declassify them, which he didn't, but just humor me for a second, declassifying them just so that he could retroactively justify his theft is still illegal. In other words, any way you cut it, the guy broke the law. And let's just take a step back here and remember that this is a political party that has predicated its entire existence this last decade on their purported zero-tolerance policy toward mishandling classified documents. The Justice Department found that Hillary Clinton had 3 classified documents on a private server, and to this day, Republicans are chanting "lock her up." Seems like a pretty low threshold on the right for mishandling sensitive documents. And yet now, when you've got over 300 documents, including a number that were marked as top secret, stashed away in Trump's beach resort, they're parading themselves on TV to explain why, actually, that's totally fine. It's almost like, and bear with me on this one, these people were always full of shit, and anyone who helped the GOP sell this idea that Hillary's emails was a legitimate national security concern for them is an absolute doormat for the Republican Party. The simple fact is that there is quite literally nothing Trump could do that these people wouldn't defend. I mean, seriously, the GOP spent, 7 years wailing about classified information? Then Donald Trump stole hundreds of documents of classified information. If these people were capable of shame, I'd imagine a planet on which this would be embarrassing for them. But they're not, and so they have no qualms about lining up to carry water for someone who did something that 5 minutes ago was the single most disqualifying act a government official could commit. Now it's not only fine, it's something they're all willing to lay down on the tracks for. But sure, not a cult. Got it. It's also so telling how these people are trying to claim that a special master is necessary because apparently the DOJ can't be trusted. As if anyone else with even a modicum of self-respect is going to look at this case where Trump admittedly stole classified documents and decide, yeah, no, this was totally fine. And so what's the point of trying to get some third party to weigh in here? Simple. It gives them more time to run interference, more time to spread disinformation, more time to obfuscate the facts. And it's a tried and true tactic for the right. Think about why Republicans were so hell-bent on ensuring that mail ballots, which skewed heavily Democratic, couldn't be counted until Election Day votes, which skewed heavily Republican, came in certain states. It's because they knew that they could exploit that vacuum to rewrite the narrative and convince their base of whatever lies they were trying to sell. Namely that Trump won the election and that any new votes were nefarious and being found in Dem-run cities. They know that the more time they have, the better they'll be able to spread the conspiracy theories that they rely on to manipulate the people who trust them. Republicans don't view their base as anything other than marks. So rest assured, most of these people will continue to defend Donald Trump, but every once in a while, you'll have a Steve Doocy who deigns to acknowledge objective reality, likely because he probably doesn't love the idea of being made to look like a fool on a daily basis. So they'll still fawn over Donald Trump, but it's clear that their appetite for defending the indefensible is waning. Before you go, couple things. First, if you want to support my work, the best way is to subscribe to this channel. The subscribe button is right here on the screen. And second, if you want to see and hear more from me, check out my website, briantylercohen.com. That way you can get links to my podcast, merchandise, ways to donate to voting rights organizations, and so much more. The thumbnail is also right here on the screen, so go check it out. And as always, thank you so much for watching.